It's Jacob and AJ's Denhoff. Yo,
Yo,
Yo.
we're here.
we're here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Chang podcast. Today, in our guest series, we have Yemi.
Nice to meet you all.
Welcome,
Or
Yemi. Welcome, Yemi.
Not meet you, but
You want to just maybe say a little bit about yourself? Give yourself some context for the people. Who is Yemi?
yeah. Well, Yemi is an artist and likes computer science. And I met AJ back in college. I think it was like the first week we met. We made a song that got like 6,000 listens
Hey.
on Spotify, and we've been friends since then.
Not Spotify, but SoundCloud. Though.
Or SoundCloud,
Yeah,
yeah.
SoundCloud.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that song. Very good song.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember it to this day. Yummy, 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 yummy.
Rolling heavy like a semi.
Yeah, I told Lily today. I was like, all right, I'm leaving. Gonna go do the pod with Yemi. She said, "Are you rolling heavy like a semi?"
It's the only way to do it.
It's like we were friends for many years after that, and I feel like have like a lot of cool stories and memories. But like anytime I mention Yemi to any of my friends or family, they're like, "Oh," and they just
Yummy,
like
yummy,
quote
yummy.
a lyric from the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, so tell a couple stories about when you guys were in college. So you guys met at the very beginning. I don't know the exact timeline, so
Yeah,
please
so
enlighten
we
me.
can tell that story.
Yeah. So we met during SAW. SAW was like a pre-orientation program for college. So we were there like a month before.
Yeah,
classes
it was
started.
it was a while, maybe
Yeah.
3 weeks or something.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I didn't even anticipate making friends and stuff, but then we all just like had a really good time, and we're just hanging.
Yeah, so it was called SAW. It was a summer academic workshop. So I guess the idea was, in order to be eligible, you had to be like either first gen student or low income student or just some category of student that might not necessarily be prepared for what like a really rigorous program would be like, especially in moving away from home. So I guess the idea was to introduce us to the main offices. Like we talked to the financial aid office, we talked to the on-campus mental health team, we talked to, and then we all took a writing class together.
Yeah.
I remember the class. I think we were in the same one.
I think we were.
It was
Yeah.
it was on it was on happiness, like the pursuit of happiness.
I think I remember something about that. We had to do readings
Yeah.
for it. I didn't do any of those readings.
Yeah, we were all like cramming essays last minute.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
jeez. I don't
The
think
Pursuit
that.
of Happiness,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like the book.
No, just the general concept.
Just
of,
the general idea
yeah,
of
we'd
the
have like
pursuit of
seminars
happiness.
and we had to do a
Oh.
research paper.
Interesting.
So I remember I ended up going to the library and finding books on like the Buddhist perspective of happiness. And,
Oh,
like,
wow.
how different monks have different styles of meditation to try to achieve some type
Yeah,
of
Yemi, what was your
I was not that involved. I don't remember reading past like the first page of any assigned reading. I would maybe like skim it, take a quote, and be like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
Yeah, it sounds about college.
Yeah, definitely the
College.
coolest part of that program though was just we all lived together in the same dorm
Yeah.
for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So just like staying up late in the lounge, like playing games.
I think we went to the beach like at night one
Yeah, we went to the
time.
be- I don't think I went that time actually.
Oh, dude.
I remember we went and played basketball one time. Which
Mhm.
a lot happened that day.
Yeah, I was not.
We went to a
good at
football game
basketball.
together. We all went to a football game together.
Oh, right. It's annoying. Northwesterners do this thing where like they stand for the entire football game, and we were just standing the whole time. And if you sit, you can't see anything, so you have to
Yeah.
stand.
So you have to stand.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was the highlight for me. Definitely was just like staying up late, having deep talks with people, and like playing Truth or Dare or whatever shenanigans. It was like a
Yeah.
just like a sleepover,
A very extended sleepover.
but every night for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys both went to Northwestern, which is in Illinois,
Mhm.
which is obviously not where you guys came from. So I know AJ went from Florida to Illinois,
Mhm.
and we spoke earlier, and you were from Colorado.
Yeah.
So was that the first place you moved from Colorado?
Yeah, that was the first place. So
Oh.
yeah, Illinois was the first place that I ever moved to from Colorado. It's the only place the first place I lived outside of Colorado.
And you were there for how many years?
I was there for in total like 3.5 years
Mhm.
because of the pandemic. I had to go back, so I
Mhm.
moved back to Colorado. but I was there for the rest of the time, and then I did my master's too. So there's like an extra year on top of that.
Oh, okay. So how did you like Illinois versus Colorado?
Okay, so there's definitely some pros and cons. Like Illinois is like if you're driving, it's just it's like corn. If you're on the highway and you're driving, it's just corn and more corn. Whereas like Colorado is like very scenic. You've got like hills, you've got mountains, you've got forests. So if you're driving for long enough, you'll see a lot of interesting things. Colorado is like really great for hiking, whereas Illinois is like couldn't really find that many nature spots. But Illinois, like being in Evanston and being able to go to Chicago was really cool because like you have that really amazing city and a whole bunch of things to do and like a whole bunch of different places to try out. So it's like they have the pros and cons. I really like both of them.
And now you're living in the Bay Area, which is a completely different vibe to both of the places that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So how about that? How do you enjoy living there?
It's been an interesting experience. It's like definitely been different for sure. I think so like the first 2 months that I was there, I was like really missing Chicago because it's like just a great city. But I'm starting to like appreciate a lot of the things in the Bay. Like you can still get a lot of the scenic things that I was talking about from Colorado. You can get that in the Bay. You can like wherever you are, there's like hiking routes, there's places you can do photography. So it's really nice. But the vibe is really different because like there's a lot of social problems in the Bay. And you start to see that when you're there. There's a lot of social problems in Chicago too. But it's also like in the area that I am, I don't really think there's that many young working professionals. So I feel like I'm grouped up with a lot of people who are older and like have kids and like, I don't know, can't exactly relate to what I'm doing in life right now.
Yeah.
My experience
Interesting.
with like I was in New York in December. I definitely met a lot of people who were in the Bay, especially like San Francisco for a long time. I grew up there, went to school there. But I guess just either because they're priced out or just because so many businesses are leaving, like it seems like a lot of people that would have been in San Francisco in a different time period now want to be in New York. They want to be in Chicago. Like I think a lot of younger professionals without as many ties to the area are like happy to move elsewhere. But yeah, I can imagine like if you're there and you have a family and you have sort of established connections, like you're gonna stick it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's also just a beautiful place too.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
Yeah.
You've been to San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
it
been a
is
couple
beautiful.
times.
I haven't been. I want to check it out.
It's super pretty.
It is really pretty. Yeah. I think during the pandemic probably is when people started just like, because if you're working hybrid or if you're working completely remote and you can still make the same level of income like in your house, then it's like, why not go somewhere where you can pay less for rent? So a lot of people probably just left during that period. And then the people who like had families and roots stayed. Yeah.
Well, I think and then Tampa is the opposite side of that, where it wasn't really a center for like tech or I mean there's like banks and stuff here, but definitely it seems like during the pandemic, like I've definitely met people who said like around like 2019 2020 they're like, oh, let me go over there and try it out the area, like enjoyed it. They like the weather, they like the being by the water. And if you can have a remote job, then
exactly. Yeah. Tampa's really nice. Like so far, really nice.
Yeah. So you're still in like your first 24 hours.
Yeah.
Of the Tampa experience.
I mean, based on the food that I had and the cool looking airport, I guess Tampa's really cool.
Yeah. I'm glad that's your first impression. Very mixed bag of first impressions when people come to Tampa, for sure. I think it's definitely fun to walk off the plane and be like, wow, this is a sauna.
Yeah.
Luckily, you came at a good time. The weather is very nice right now.
Yeah, it's not like super humid.
Yeah.
I hate humidity. I just can't stand it. Yeah. But it's not bad.
Yeah.
Here, right now.
Right here, right now. Yeah, it'll start to get a lot hotter soon.
So what are you working on, Yemi? Anything fun, anything interesting, anything meaningful in your life going on right now that you've been working on?
That's a good question. I'm like trying to get into more hobbies. So I already have like a lot of hobbies that I'm into. I'm into like art. I'm into photography. and I'm into writing. And so now that I've like had a lot of time to just like practice those hobbies, I'm trying to combine them and start doing like more interesting like stuff. So I'm like planning out a comic that I want to both write and illustrate.
Cool.
And I've been like doing it, but the process is like, I don't know. I feel like I'm really hard on myself because like every time I sit down and write, I'm like, whoa, this is like stupid. But but I'm forcing myself to get through the bad and like understand like obviously I'm not going to be amazing at whatever I start. So I'm just like trying to write a comic and do it to do it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So what inspired that?
I think I always liked comic books when I was growing up. So I like would read comic books. I was really into like superhero movies, and then anime and manga too. So like all of that really like got me interested in like art and making storylines and stuff. But I think the day I decided to make a comic was like I watched this anime that was like really, really bad. And I told myself, I was like, I could write something better than that. So then that's when I decided I think I'll try and write something.
What show was it? Can you say?
It was a show called King's Game.
King's Game.
Yeah, it's a really edgy show where like these like high schoolers are like in this, it's like a death game type thing, you know, if you like Squid Game but for high schoolers.
No.
Where they're in this game and they have to like solve puzzle. I don't even know. It was just really edgy and really bad, and I was just like, I don't know how this got funding. Like who decided to make this into an anime? I feel bad roasting on it, but if you watch it, I think you'd get what I'm saying. It's not very good. So I'm gonna try and write something better.
Nice. So can you spoil it a little bit? What's the idea?
Okay, so I actually have like 3 ideas. I think the one that I want to work on most is this one where it's like, I don't mind spoiling. It's like a really generic idea. Like if you've ever seen like Naruto.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess Naruto wouldn't be a good comparison. My Hero more like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say?
I was gonna say he just watched the first episode of Naruto the other day.
Yeah,
oh,
I did.
nice.
I'm gonna try to watch all of Naruto.
Yeah, if you can get through the filler, you'll have a great time.
Yeah, he gave me a list.
Yeah, I was like, do you know about this website? I pulled up anime filler list.
Yeah, so
you gotta have that.
Yeah, I'm equipped with that now, so I can watch and skip all the filler and get to the good parts.
Yeah, no. Sometimes the filler would just drive me crazy. Yeah.
So you're saying it's gonna be like My Hero in that people have powers, or?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like My Hero in terms of like people having powers, and then obviously or it's gonna be like a little edgier. So like there's obviously ramifications for people having powers.
Right.
It'll be like people have powers, but there's like a government organization that like kind of.
So it's like My Hero Academia meets The Boys.
Exactly. It's My Hero. That's the best way.
You
did it better than me.
No, that's cool.
It's My Hero Academia meets The Boys, and it follows this guy who has really good regenerative abilities, and he can essentially copy anybody's ability, and he's the main character, and essentially he's trying to his brother, who is like. His brother who also has abilities, but his brother's like more of the I want to be a superhero and be like king of the world kind of. So it follows him trying to like defeat his brother, and really generic, but I feel like I can make it into an interesting idea.
Cool. It sounds cool.
Oh, it sounds like a cool fusion of
Yeah.
So when you say you can copy people's abilities, is it like the Sharingan? Is it like Kakashi?
Yeah, kind of
Okay,
like that.
okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
He can do one. He can copy one ability at a time that's been used on him.
Okay.
Okay, so we've mentioned My Hero Academia, we've mentioned Naruto, mentioned The Boys. What else would you say are major influences on you and your personal artistic vision or artistic likes?
Major influences. Oh, wow. I take so much inspiration from like the TV shows that I've seen. I think.
Yeah, what did you watch when you were growing up as a kid? What was on the TV?
Oh,
for
can
you?
I say some? I think I know some.
Okay.
Okay, Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, Cowboy.
Okay,
Bebop.
and then I gotta say Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter. Oh, Hunter x Hunter is such a big.
Yeah.
It's like. Doesn't come to my mind. Yeah,
I know. I'm just remembering your. I think it was your last apartment in Evanston.
Mm-hmm.
That like all of your wall art was either Cowboy Bebop drawings
Yeah.
or Hunter x Hunter drawings.
It was
I
literally
like,
one or the other.
So you like Cowboy Bebop?
No, I invited my friend Mao over. He was like looking at my art and he was like, "Wow, you have so much. It's almost creepy." Yeah, maybe I do have too much Cowboy Bebop or Hunter x Hunter.
No, I wouldn't say creepy. Like, you definitely were presenting as an anime fan.
Yeah, it's really just like a couple, like 2 or 3 shows that I really like.
I still haven't seen Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
I've seen Cowboy
wow.
Bebop for sure. Love Cowboy Bebop.
Hunter
I've heard
Hunter's
so many
great.
great things about Hunter x Hunter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you'd like it. If you like
Yeah,
Naruto, I think
I
you
gotta
like
check it out. I gotta check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But those are good inspirations. I don't know if you've seen it, but like Hunter x Hunter like follows this like kid who's very, I don't know, big-hearted, I guess. But I like the character, so that's like kind of where I get inspiration for some of my characters.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Hunter x Hunter is another one of those like start from 0, level up to 1 million
Yeah.
type shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a good power system.
Yeah, there we go. The
Yeah.
word. That's the
Yeah,
word
yeah.
I was looking for. Power system.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
nice.
Yeah.
What have you been watching recently? Any shows that you've really been
Ooh.
digging, or?
I just watched the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith. If you guys have seen that.
Haven't
Oh.
seen
That's
it.
the Donald Glover's in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Have you seen the old one, the movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. That was like one of my favorite movies when I shouldn't have watched it when I was a kid, but I did watch it when I was a kid. But it's like, do you mind if I spoil it? Well, I won't
Yeah.
spoil
Nah, I don't spoil it. So you can say
just
what
the premise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's about these like 2 like secret agents who are pretending to be married. And they just go and solve missions together, and there's a little bit of tension between the 2 of them. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting.
I feel like my dad watched that movie probably.
You can edit this out, but I just want to say this. But like, sometimes I look over and Yemi's like doing lots of hand gestures, and the mic is not anywhere close to your mouth. So just you can gesture with one hand. but
Yeah,
as long
I
as
keep
one hand
forgetting.
is, like,
I talk with 2 hands so often that's like just
No, I
second
appreciate
nature.
I appreciate it. It really adds to your speaking, but we also got to hear you. So
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, and then you saw Dune, right?
Dune, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw Dune after I listened to your guys' episode where you were talking about how Dune is so good.
Yeah,
I
because
was
we're gonna play games, and you're like, yeah, I gotta go at 7. I'm gonna go see Dune. I was like, oh, cool. Like I just saw Dune, and you were like, yeah, I heard you mention it on the podcast, and I really had to go see it.
Yeah.
You're like
It's
the way
like-
you're talking about it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's good then. Wow. And it was good. It was really good.
That was a moment where I thought to myself, wow, am I an influencer? I just influenced this
I mean,
guy.
technically, yeah.
I just influenced somebody.
Have you seen Dune yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, have you seen
I-
the first one?
No, I've tried like 3 different times, and I kept on falling asleep at the very beginning. And it keeps on being one of those movies where like I tell people that exact response, and they're like, "Oh, you just got to get through it." And every time I hear people say that, I go, "Yeah, I get it." But then it makes me laugh because I'm like, if you have to recommend something and say you just have to get through the boring parts
Yeah.
to get to the good parts, I don't think that's a very good
Oh.
recommendation.
No.
No.
But no, my parents, my mom in particular, she had like the same problem where she tried watching it a few times and just couldn't get through it. But then eventually she did, and she really liked it. And then she went to go see the second movie, and then she really liked the second movie. So now it seems like my mom is a Dune fan. So I don't know. So maybe I do have to give it another shot and try
Right.
watching
You
it.
can get through the boring parts.
Yeah, and get through it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, the first one is definitely a lot of setting up the atmosphere. Like even as someone who's a huge fan of the Dune book, I watched the first movie and thought like that's it. That's all they're gonna do for the. The first one is a lot more just setting up the atmosphere. And the second one, they really like the plot really starts to pick up.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's like, I know there's like a couple books. I feel like the first one is like one book. I haven't read the books, but I'm just pretending I have.
Okay.
And then the second movie, I feel like is a couple different books combined into
no,
one.
so the what it really is the first movie is like the first couple chapters of the book, the first book,
Okay.
and then the second movie is the rest of the book.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That makes sense. And there's like a couple books, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like because I think Frank Herbert wrote 5, and then his son kept writing them, so now there's like 20.
Wow.
There's like prequels and time skip ones and like
That's
different.
insane.
They do different planets.
Dang,
and-
I didn't realize it went that deep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the first book is pretty self-contained. Like the first book is a story in itself,
Mm.
and then there's a few more that continue. I don't know. I've only read the original one because that book itself is like 600 pages, so
Mm.
Oh wow.
it's a lot.
Are you a big reader, Yemi?
No, I want to be, but
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of wants to be a reader, but it does take some work and some effort.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been.
to be on the podcast?
Yeah, there's just fly.
See,
flying around.
as soon as you start to try to interview them, they run away.
That was a fly for the audio listeners. That was bugging Jacob.
All right, Yemi. So obviously this is, well, so the people know, this is the first time that you and I have met formally. So I'm trying to get a gauge of who you are as a person. So I have like a set of questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. And so the first one is going to be like childhood based. So what is a main memory of your childhood that you can tell me that you think would be a good representation of like who you were growing up?
I think the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know why this comes to mind like as first, but I remember when I was in like the 4th or 5th grade, I had this teacher, and I was like being a class clown, and they were like really upset. And then I did something, and then they were like they were like being stern. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I apologized. Like, oh yeah, I know what I was doing was bad. Sorry about that. I'll try not to do it again. And then they were like, see, I know you're like respectful and like, and you're very well behaved. But I don't know why that comes to mind. Honestly, I don't even know why I told the story.
Oh, that's interesting though.
So
So that was like the first time that I guess you had like taken accountability. Is that why that comes up?
yeah. I think the when I think about that sometimes, I just think about the fact that like I try to take other people's feelings like into account, and I try to like be respectful of other people, and I've done that since I was like a kid. So I feel like that was a lot of my childhood.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
that's like a main pillar of like who you are.
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
Okay.
Because I was never like a bully. I got bullied, but I never understood why people like bullied other people, like especially in middle school and stuff. Yeah, I was always like trying to be sensitive and understanding.
Do you
of
feel
others.
like maybe like does that moment with talking to your teacher come out because you were realizing like, oh, like I'm sorry, I was just trying to have fun. I didn't realize this was a problem, or
I think so, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
because that really was what it was. Like I wasn't trying to,
Right.
be disrespectful, and do stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, because I think
And-
there's definitely like when you say class clown, like that could be somebody really trying to disrupt the learning process in spite of the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but it could also be like it's just fun to make the learning experience more enjoyable. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely remember like that was always a goal of mine, and especially like in high school, like I would try to be like subtle about it, but like if I could like come up with some kind of comment that the goal was like if the teacher giggles, then it's okay. But I remember in like English class or like physics class or whatever, like just trying to think of like what kind of little thing can I throw in,
Mm-hmm.
and then like if the teacher laughs, then it's like okay, cool.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
It's like it's nice to make jokes. Try not to go too far.
yeah.
I remember when I was like I had made this joke with my teacher in elementary school, and like I think she was crying and she had like a red nose, and when I came into the classroom, like I started singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I just
Oh no!
I feel so bad about it because like
Oh no!
like I was just trying to be funny, but looking back, she was crying for a reason, and
Oh.
yeah. So I
Poor
tried.
lady just got bullied by some kids, and here comes Yemi.
Yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And then I apologized to her after because I thought about it and I was like, wait, maybe teachers have feelings too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting getting older and then like realizing your teachers and your professors are also just people.
Yeah. Living life.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
so how
yeah.
about high school Yemi? Or
High school Yemi.
even more specifically, like high school Yemi transitioning into college Yemi?
Oh, man.
Because I know that's a really big transformational period for a lot of people's life.
Yeah.
And see, personally, I didn't go to college. I have a little bit of college experience, but that's here in Tampa. So like I never went anywhere to move to college or like go to school like full time and like really like enjoy that experience. So I like asking people about it.
I see. Okay. But you did move to the California for a little bit.
Yeah, I did move to California.
I think it's like a little similar to that. It's like you're going, but I think that's probably even harder because like you're going to this new place where you don't know anybody, you don't really have any connections if you're going out of state, and you kind of have to start from scratch. And so I think for me, it wasn't super scary because I was like naive and like young, and I just was like, I'm not gonna make any friends. I'll just go to class, get my degree, and I'll be do my thing.
I'll be in and out.
yeah, no worries. And then I did this pre-orientation program and I was like, wow, I made friends and I like wasn't even trying.
You played so much ping pong.
Yeah,
in those 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you played heinous amounts of ping pong.
Oh my gosh, we would be competitive, like, yeah. But no, it's like it's kind of like that experience, but it's nice because you're in this environment where you're surrounded by other people who are like in similar position, and so you don't really have to try that hard to make friends or to engage with other people. So it was a transformative experience because it was a new thing, but a lot of the stuff came naturally because of the environment. Yeah. I was in a weird place when I left high school because I was like. My bad. I don't know. I was like ready to like even me and like one of my best friends. He was inside the building right now. Like we were contemplating not even being friends because like we were just I was in a weird place. He was in a weird place. But like a lot of college was just growing up and maturing and learning how to communicate, and I keep doing the thing with my hand where I'm moving the mic.
As long as it's like generally in front of your mouth, you can work with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of it was growth, which is great.
One thought I had a lot about in my college experience going to Northwestern, being on a college campus, like living on a campus with people, is like this is definitely an environment and a situation where you're gonna be forced to learn a lot. Not even necessarily the classes you take, but like something like learning how to connect with new people, or learning how to navigate a new city, or learning how to live on your own, learning how to like it is a very conducive environment to learning new things and kind of opening up. Which there's challenges that come with that because you kind of have to change your whole lifestyle, change your whole friend group, change your whole but yeah, and then especially meeting people who had a different experience. Like I know a lot of schools in New York, either the campus is like fragmented across the city, or there's like vertical campuses where like you go into a building and the first floor is this and the second floor is the dining hall and the third floor has this department, the fourth floor is this department. And then places like here, like I know USF and University of Tampa, there's a lot of commuting students, like a lot of students who will live either like at home with family or off campus on a house somewhere and just like drive onto campus, take their classes, drive home. So I definitely value the experience of having like a dedicated campus where all of the classrooms and the dining halls and the community spaces and the dorms were all kind of mixed in together. Because there are so many chances to just run into somebody, or like you just walk down the lake and run into 10 different people,
No, yeah, that was a great thing about Northwestern in that specific campus, because it was like small, so you would run into people pretty frequently.
Yeah, sometimes a little too frequently, honestly.
Didn't I just see you?
Sometimes I just want to go eat. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Two times is a coincidence, but 3 times. How was? I know you said you like had a small experience with college. So what was that? What was that like?
My small experience with college was interesting because I definitely like the community aspect of it, and like AJ said, like being on a campus with a bunch of other people and like you said, like similar to you, going through the same things as you generally. So like that was cool. And especially like at that time I was I was like single, so it's nice to be out and like mingle with people and and go and meet friends and whatnot. But I just I liked all of that except for the school. Except for going to classes, learning, studying, all of that was on the back burner for me. So that's why I just decided to stop going, because there was just I was just wasting money, wasting time, just trying to have this experience that I could have had in a different way. Like when I moved to California, I feel like I had a very interesting, cool college-ish experience when it comes to moving and meeting new people and gaining new connections and starting from scratch in a different place.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is one thing about the on-campus undergrad college experience, is it all comes together in one big package. So you don't get to take the social aspect without the, you don't get to, because there's a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities, and they all come in one big. And there were definitely times in my undergrad experience where I just got so excited and caught up in other things that I kind of stopped doing my homework.
Same.
Yeah, but trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember studying in Lincoln till till it was light outside, so till 6 a.m. and just going to a test and failing it. It was just wow. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I would never. I remember my freshman year, people staying up exam week, the study hall in our dorm. It was just full of people, and they were just there the whole night, taking whatever they were taking to stay up all night. But I was like, dude, I don't care. I'll fail it. I'm going to bed. Because you're going to stay up all night and be sleep deprived and fail it anyway. Yeah. So at least sleep.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember being so nobody wants to play ping pong. Everyone's just going to cram all night. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to bed.
During midterms, we have rooms in the libraries that you can book, and they would just always be booked and always be filled, and it was just I'm not that invested. I'm invested in my grade and everything, but it's I don't know. There were some people who it was the bane of their existence. Am I using that right? It was the most important thing to them, the grade that they got.
Well, in certain programs too, definitely if you're in engineering or you're in pre-med or something, there kind of is an argument where you need these grades in order to do the thing you want to do. So if you can't get the grades, then it's not, I don't know. I kind of enjoyed being in computer science, on the border of engineering, because I wasn't in the engineering school. I was in the liberal arts college, but I took computer science classes through the engineering school, and then my electives were outside of it. But I mean, computer science is kind of cool in that it's good to have a degree and good to have certifications and stuff, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is what you can do.
Exactly.
Whereas something like engineering or medicine, it's you really do need to go get or law. You need to get all the proper certifications and pass all the exams and be certified by whatever board or.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely.
There's an argument for that. Yeah. For those occupations.
But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's a possible college experience where you can get a lot of the social benefits and the expanding your social group and meeting people, learning new things, with maybe some way to do classes where it doesn't force you to study until the sun comes up.
Yeah.
The new school.
Yeah.
The new school.
The new school.
Denhoff University.
Denhoff University, yo. Should sell a class.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Would you study in college?
Computer science.
Computer science, and then you got your master's also.
Yeah.
In computer science.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Specializing in artificial intelligence.
Nice. Very important though nowadays.
Yeah.
To know that.
AI is a little scary.
And now,
but really cool.
And now you work for IBM, which is fun. I don't know if you are comfortable with putting that. If not, that's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's on my website. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
you want to plug your website?
Yeah.
YemiKelani.dev.
Nice.
Spell it out.
Yeah. YemiKelani.dev.
Yeah.
And what's on there?
My projects. I have a blog where I read research papers in AI and summarize them. And I have some art up there. and I have a really weird other page that nobody has been able to figure out. It's like a puzzle, but I think you could figure it out.
I've looked at it and I still don't know what it means. It's just numbers.
That's sick.
It
I
is,
love
yeah.
that.
And that's it. Yeah. Oh, and photography.
I was actually showing your website to Lily a couple days ago. Cause she does art. She makes like jewelry. Like she made this.
Oh.
And she makes she's doing some pottery now.
Cool.
But yeah, so we were talking about putting together a website so she can kind of show a portfolio of her
Nice.
stuff. And I was showing her your website, so you have the tabs that you can select people, and then it filters out just pictures of people.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, are you gonna make it for her?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Because you already have your project that you're working on. Too.
Yeah, I got a couple web dev projects that I have not been putting time into. Because I've had a lot of other fun projects I've been putting time into. So that's been cool. But yeah, that's definitely something longer term I want to continue to improve at is web development. Especially not necessarily like back end functionality, but I mean obviously you need some level of back end functionality. But just coming up with like cool designs and stuff that kind of breaks the mold, breaks the template of what a lot of people are used to, like standard static tabs at the top, and trying to come up with cool ways to do that.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like you don't want to reinvent the wheel, but you also do want to stand out. And
you want something fresh.
make something nice.
But yeah, you've done some web projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've done my website. We took that one class where we did like a bunch of animation. We coded a bunch of animations and stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, so you're talking about generative methods?
Yeah.
So the class was called Generative Methods, and the idea was each week would focus on like some type of generative art.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would implement that through a website.
Yeah.
So like animations, like motion, like particle physics.
Yeah.
What else was there?
There was like a painting. Like we did paint brushes.
Oh, that's right. You had to come up with like different types of paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I remember making like an emoji paintbrush where you like click and drag and it just like paints the same emoji over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I did my logo. I did the same thing, but with my like flower logo. Which is on my website.
Yeah, that was a great class too because so much of web dev. Also, Jacob, let us know when we get too in the weeds, but also we're at 38 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
wrap up and then we can wrap up.
All right. Well, then I won't go into my. I was going to talk about like how things are going towards like React and different frameworks, and not a lot of people do like pure HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Yeah.
And that was cool about that class, was kind of going back to fundamentals. Anyway.
Final question to wrap up the show. You're doing a bunch of cool stuff. You're, living your life. What is your vision and your dream for what you want to happen in the near to distant future?
Oh, man.
It's a big question.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna be like, what's your favorite food?
Where do I see myself? That's a great question. I don't know. I know I really want to start doing things. I really want to start doing things that I haven't done before. Like travel more. I went to Japan last year. That was the first time I ever traveled. And I want to just travel more and be more spontaneous. Because I feel like right now I'm resigned to like a schedule where like do the same things. And I kind of want to just get out of that habit and like try new things and explore new things and take risks. Kind of like when you said that like going to California was like a risk for you. So I want to do stuff like that and like explore and like grow in certain areas. In terms of like the hobbies that I have, I would like to write a book at some point. I think everybody says that, but they never really do. But I heard this thing about Stephen King said, where he's like, somebody asked him like, how do you write like 2 books a year? And he was just like, you just write 1 page every day. So I want to do that. Write a comic, write a book, and explore more.
Can I end with a quote?
Yeah. Cool.
That's awesome.
Cool with me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Have you guys seen the video of the guy on like a motorcycle with the microwave on his head?
Yes.
You've seen that?
I have
Yes.
not.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, let's see. Let's find a good one.
He uses it as a helmet.
Oh, wait, his head is in the microwave.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you something, right? If you focus on results, you would never change. But if you focus on change, you will always get good results. And don't forget that shit, you heard? And don't forget that shit, you heard?
Anyway, yeah,
That's so inspirational.
I really like that sentiment that if you focus on results, things might not change. But if you focus on changing, like you're saying, like changing your lifestyle, changing your the way you approach risk, you know, it will result in hopefully improvements.
Exactly. And I don't mean to get like heavy or anything, but like, yeah, uncertainty has always like been something I've struggled with, like anxiety over the uncertain future. But it's really like the future is always uncertain.
Right.
So, you know, you can't give it certainty. Just focus on like your habits and becoming the person you want to be, and you know, create possibilities, and things will kind of fall into place. And that's kind of the thing I've learned, or I'm still learning. But yeah.
Beautiful. I love
All right,
that.
you want to do outro for the main up?
Yeah, that's great. That was great. All right, thank you guys so much for watching the Chang Hoff podcast. Thank you, Yemi, for being here. It was
Thanks
a pleasure.
for having me.
Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTuber things. You know we love you.
We're going to keep recording, do a little bonus episode. That's going to be on patreon.com/Shanghoff.
So stay tuned for that. That's where the real juicy stuff happens. This was a great interview, but it's about to get even greater.
That's where it gets real juicy, real saucy, real whatever.
Adjectivity.
Give me some more. Well, you got an adjective? What's it going to be like?
Fresh.
Ooh,
fresh.
fresh. That's where we get fresh people. Anyway, that was everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was the Chang Hoff podcast. We love you. Okay, goodbye.
More on Patreon.